those individuals would be affected and almost immediately return to homelessness if our federal funding was cut. And beyond that, 100% of all our clients are Medicaid eligible.
I take calls from, I just was telling Sharina, I took a call from a 74-year-old who was living in the park with her 54-year-old daughter and their dog, and they had been living in the park about 6 months. I took a call 2 days ago from a senior citizen who had been in his apartment since 2001 and now he's getting evicted. We rely on our community partners because we're in direct services, but we're not a housing program or anything like that. So we need help with something with that. We need the Just One Project. We need you all to help continue to provide the services.
Well, the federal government can be run much more efficiently. There's too much bureaucracy, we all agree. To fix it doesn't mean we burn it to the ground though. It should be a thoughtful process. It should be a process where we realize, okay, there are programs that are working that have the oversight, but where can we eliminate this fat? Where can we figure out how to do it? Listen, our state legislature does it all the time because they have to. They have to manage within their means. It makes sense to do that. And we should be doing that. But that's not what's happening here. This is, and I will say it because this has been my frustration, is this idea that we just cut and fire people no matter what they do, cut essential programs and funding that, by the way, was allocated already by us in Congress, and ignore the law. That's not how this process should work. I want to ask, I want to know what's happening in my state. I want to know why this funding is not out there, what's going on, why this audit, why this, nothing, no response. As they do just across the board firings in all of these essential departments. These are the people that are overseeing some of the federal funding. These are the people that are responsible for making sure, right, that the auditing is done, the conditions are there, and then getting that money out. And that is also a concern, seeing that impact on your side of it.
19% of our funding is from older Americans and and to lose that funding down the road would be devastating, not only to our program, but really to the people we serve, which are seniors, and really the most vulnerable seniors. We recently added 2 lawyers last year, which we are very proud of, and a paralegal, which really expanded our direct services. We expanded about 25% of it. But if there's no OA funding, that would definitely, certainly be cut.
The majority of what we found is that who was impacted was children, parents, and seniors and people with disability, as well as the services that were primarily provided was housing, food, and utility assistance to those constituents. Most recently, I also wanted to add, and it's not reflected in the data, and this is specifically something that United Way's both in the South and the North oversee, is the oversight of the EFSP, Emergency Food and Shelter Program. And we do this in partnership with multiple nonprofits around the state. This program supports over 125,000 Nevadans statewide and across the country. As you know, these funds have been put on indefinite hold. Those funds were anticipated to be coming in April. So this is real-time dollars impacted. Many of the nonprofit organizations that would be providing those services have already provided it in anticipation of those funds coming in April through the reimbursement process, and then they would service multiple people through the end of the year. And so that's a real-time issue that I wanted to just update that is not reflected in this survey.